On Sunday, U.S. President Donald Trump issued a sharp warning to Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky. At the heart of the tension, a proposed resources deal between Ukraine and the United States. Initially critical of Russian President Vladimir Putin for questioning Zelensky's credibility, Trump quickly shifted focus, threatening Ukraine with what he called big problems if it backs out of the agreement.
We could discuss under the auspices of the UN, with the US, with European countries, and of course with our partners and friends, the possibility of conducting temporary governance in Ukraine in order to hold democratic elections, in order to bring to power a viable government that enjoys the trust of the people, and then begin negotiations with them on a peace treaty, signed legitimate documents that will be recognized all over the world.
The day began with Trump expressing anger toward Putin's remarks about Zelensky, describing himself as very angry and pissed off. He accused the Kremlin leader of undermining Zelensky as a negotiating partner. Trump threatened to impose secondary tariffs of 25% to 50% on buyers of Russian oil if he felt Moscow was blocking his efforts to end the war. Trump said he was disappointed in a certain way with Putin's comments, but added, "I think he's going to be good." But during his return flight to Washington from Mar-a-Lago, Trump directed frustration toward Zelensky, warning of consequences if Ukraine rejected a broad-ranging resources deal that would include critical minerals and hydrocarbons going to the U.S. Trump told reporters, now taking a threatening posture toward Zelensky.
I see he's trying to back out of the rare earth deal, and if he does that, he's got some problems, big problems.
He also downplayed Ukraine's NATO membership hopes, stating,
"He wants to be a member of NATO." Well, he was never going to be a member of NATO. He understands that.
Behind the scenes, Ukraine has expressed concern over the proposed agreement. According to sources, the draft deal gives the U.S. control over key infrastructure, minerals, and hydrocarbon sectors in Ukraine, without any set expiration date. Ukrainian officials are seeking revisions, including more American investment and clearer terms, including security guarantees. A nearly 60-page draft was reviewed in a March 28 meeting between Ukrainian and U.S. counterparts. Kyiv requested clarifications, and Washington did not reject the concerns, indicating a possible path for negotiation. Inside Ukraine, criticism is growing, though. Lawmaker Yaroslav Zhelezniak described the terms as downright horrible, citing the absence of security guarantees. By some estimations, the minerals deal is worse than the reparations paid by Germany at the end of World War I, and some say the deal would even destroy Ukraine's sovereignty. President Zelensky has struck a softer tone, however. He has called for a legal review and parliamentary ratification. In his words, America is now changing these rules and immediately offering a full agreement, and a full agreement requires detailed study. Zelensky had been expected to sign an earlier version of the deal during his White House visit on February 28. However, the signing never took place after Trump and his vice president, J.D. Vance, accused the Ukrainian leader of being ungrateful for U.S. assistance. The backdrop to this diplomatic friction is ongoing warfare. Ukrainian officials reported overnight Russian strikes on Kharkiv, while Russian forces claim new territorial gains near the Dnipropetrovsk region. Trump's warmer tone toward Moscow and threat to cut U.S. support for Ukraine have emboldened Russian military activity, with fresh offensives underway. In his evening address, Zelensky called for stronger international pressure on Russia, saying, "For too long now, America's proposal for an unconditional ceasefire has been on the table without an adequate response from Russia." The resources deal represents more than just a trade agreement. It's a flashpoint in the evolving relationship between Washington and Kyiv. While the U.S. has demanded Ukraine's cooperation, Kyiv is seeking a balanced agreement that aligns with its long-term economic and security interests. As negotiations continue, the outcome could shape both Ukraine's sovereignty and the future of U.S. involvement in the region.